Hello and welcome to the See Me See You channel. Quinn Donovan here. I am wanting to put this video out for you today. We're going to be taking a trip down Quinn's Lane, and in this video I will be sharing with you many things that are behind me on this bookshelf that I look at every day, gives me inspiration, gives me confidence and courage to continue to go out there and do the work on myself and help others do the work on themselves to better their lives. And so I just wanted to share with you this little intimate trip down Quinn's Lane to give you some insight into my world and into what inspires me and things that I hold near and dear to my heart. So let's go ahead and take this trip down Quinn's Lane. What we're going to do first is we're going to start with the shelves up above behind me. I want to go through and just tell you about these things and maybe where they came from and who I got them from, how it makes me feel. So I just want you to know, like, I was a professional home organizer for 10 plus years. I've been organizing my whole entire life. So the belongings that you have, they have energy, they have meaning, they have positive or negative energies depending on what you put on them. They could be things that people have given you that maybe you feel obligated to keep. But what this trip down Quinn's Lane is all about, things that inspire you, and for you to get inspired to showcase the things that you hold near and dear, regardless where you got them, because these are things that light you up, that bring you joy, and that give you the peace and the meaning to your space or to your life. And so a lot of what I'm going to be sharing with you with some of the stuff behind me are things that I've had for a really long time, since high school, since growing up. And so I am just so happy and grateful that I'm going to come here and share a little piece of my world with you, something that I look at every day that gives me inspiration, and why I do my videos in front of it, because the energy that I put into these things is what the energy comes out in these videos. So welcome to Quinn's Lane. Let's take a trip over here. We're going to start over here on this side. So if you look at this, you see the fire, this wolf, this rock, and the lava lamp. That fire is actually a project that I did in college. I went to school for graphic design. And so one of our assignments was to create your own font. And at that time, this was when I was, I believe, a freshman in college. At that time, I was really into flames. I was really into fire, which is no coincidence, because I actually have a salamander spirit guide. And so it was like, oh, well, no wonder I'm into fire. So that was actually a project that I did. And so if you look at it, you can see that I actually drew all of this stuff by hand, and then I scanned it into the computer and drew it in the computer. And let me tell you, drawing flames on the computer is hard. Like, it's very difficult. And so it came out really great. It was even featured in the art show that they had at the school at that time. And so I'm really super proud of this. We had to write or draw all the letters, so uppercase and lowercase. So I have a whole notebook of flamed letters that could be used for a font. So maybe one day I'll actually have this as a font, and people can buy it and use it in their designs, even if somebody else already has it, but still. Which, you know, and then I'll tell you too, like, where I place things on here has meaning and there's themes, and so I'm very meticulous about where I place things. I'll tell you a funny story. My mom, she would mess with me as a little kid, and so I would always like position my little knickknacks or something a certain way, because I know when things are moved because I put things in a specific place. And so my mom would just come and screw with me. Like, I'll put something in its place the way I want it positioned, and then she would come and just ever so slightly move it, and I'd come back and be like, what? Like, what happened? Who moved this? How did this get moved? So I'd move it back to where it was, and then my mom would come back again and move it again, and so she would just keep messing with me, and I was just like, why would you do that? Like, when she told me she did that, I was like, why? No wonder I was thinking I was going crazy. But you know, as a little kid, it was just like I was so meticulous about the positioning of things, which I think that's really where my feng shui skills come in, because however you position stuff and place things have a meaning. It brings an energy, or it brings it all together or something like that. So yeah, funny story about that. So if you ever are around me and you're in my house, things are positioned a certain way, and I'll know if you moved it. I will know if it's moved. So don't be like my mom and try and mess with me, okay? Oh, so, you know, I have this fire font here, and then I have this lava rock here that I had brought back from Iceland. Me and my daughter took a trip out there for a week, and it was so amazing. So we were able to bring some rocks back. So I have some lava rock here, which, you know, comes from fire. So of course it's placed by the fire. This wolf here, this is actually something I did in wood shop. I drew this on a piece of block of wood, and it actually had like a square all around it, and it had a moon, so it was like howling at the moon. But the frame of it, the square of it, broke. So this is the only thing that I kept, and I actually have a spirit animal, a spirit guide who is a wolf. So growing up, wolves and tigers have always been my favorite animals, and if I could have these animals as domesticated animals, it would be a wolf and a tiger for a dog and a cat. So this is how this is why I have this wolf, and it looks so good right here with the lava lamp in the back, because it's like it's howling at the moon, or it's howling at the sun, or you know, it's really it brings me courage. And if you know anything about wolves, like they're leaders, and they're nurturing, very nurturing, and I feel like I really resonate with that. And so I'm so grateful that I have a wolf spirit guide here guiding me on this journey, and who I can actually connect with at any given time. And I feel like when I look at this, I actually can connect with my spirit guide at that time, so at any time. So I'm just so grateful to have that, and I made it too. Like, I made that. So it's awesome that all these little things that I've done that people wouldn't know about, you know, unless you came into my space, unless you came to my house and you saw this for yourself, you know. So that's why I want to share it here with you. Now this little tower of rocks here, this little pyramid or tower, or I'm not sure what they're called, but you know, when you stack the rocks and everything, I actually got that from a river in Trinidad. I'm from Trinidad, Colorado, and down through there we have the Purgatory River that runs through there. During the summer it's pretty full, so you can go and tube down it. That was something that I loved doing as a kid, was going tubing down the river. It was so much fun. Definitely came back with some bumps and scratches and a sore butt from hitting all the rocks, but it was a really good time. And so I was just down there a couple weeks ago, and there's hardly any water right now in the river, so I was actually able to go in the middle of the river and find these rocks. And I was very meticulous about what rocks I wanted, how they stacked, and the coolest thing too was I was looking for a heart-shaped rock to add to this, to top it and make the cherry on top. And guess what? I found one. So let me show you what that looks like. Look at that, isn't that so cute? It's just a cute little heart. And so it was like, I wanted to find a heart rock and I found it. So it's like anything that you put your mind to, or anything that you're wanting to put, bring into form, bring into your reality, you just put those thoughts out there and put some good, positive, authentic energy into it, and you'll get exactly what you're looking for. So I'm so happy about this. Like gently. And then this little angel here I got from a client when I was doing my organizing. She was getting rid of this and I was like, oh, I really like these little figurines. You know, there's a whole collection of them. So like, I think one of the clients I had served with, she had the whole collection of all this stuff, but it wasn't the one that gave this one to me. But I thought this was really cute because it's like an angel holding a pineapple, and look, I got pineapple earrings on. And then today in my mentor's live YouTube channel, she was talking about pineapple, so I was like, you know, it's a pineapple kind of day, isn't it? So this is so cute. I just love this thing. I actually found this in a drawer the other day, and I was like, why are you sitting in the drawer? You should not be sitting in a drawer. And that's one thing about me and my stuff, is I take such good care of it. Like, I care for these things like they're human, or like they're my baby. Like they mean a lot to me. So, and they have energy and they put out energy, and so I always take care of them and thank them for serving all that they serve for me and bringing the beauty to my space and all the energy that they have to bring. So that was just so cute, and I just thought that the rock sitting there was a really nice little touch to make that space. Because I was an organizer, I love open space. I love a lot of space, and it's so awesome that I'm creating so much space within myself by doing all this healing work and all this self-love and self-care and cleansing and manifesting things that I never thought possible. So I just love bringing all this stuff to life. Like, I just love it. I'm not really sure where that thought was going there, but we're just gonna carry on. So here, this is like my tub of rocks that I have. My grandma gave this card to me for a birthday gift as a glacier, because we went to Montana and we went to Glacier Park, and so all of these rocks and seashells and everything that I have in here came from Glacier National Park, as well as one of their really big, huge lakes there. It takes like 2-3 hours just to drive around it because it's that big. So this is a lot of the rocks and everything that I got there. When you put these rocks are very colorful, very smooth. There's even some seashells in here. And then this was another rock that I found on a walk that I did up at the Westminster dog park over by Stanley Lake. I was like, I really want to find a heart rock, and so I found this one, and then I put this love wins tattoo on the rock, because you know what, love always does win. Love does win. So if you fill your heart and fill your life with love, you're gonna win no matter what. You're gonna win no matter what. So I've always been a rock collector my whole entire life. My mom would tell me, like, yeah, we would go out and I would come home with a pocket full of rocks, you know, and she actually said that she has kept one of the rocks that I had given her as a kid, which I was like, wow, you actually still have that. So that was really amazing that she still keeps some of those rocks, but a lot of times she would just throw them out, and then I refine them and she would get them back in her pocket. But I still have a lot of rocks. This is just a little bit of what I have, but a lot of stuff is still in storage, and so I don't have all my rocks with me, but I'm definitely a rock collector for sure. Oh, and actually behind here, there's more rocks. These are from Iceland here. These are, look, here's another heart-shaped rock. I love heart-shaped rocks. This one right here actually had a cool little face on it. So it looks kind of like a pumpkin face or something. So I thought that was really cool. And then when we were in Iceland, we went to the the thermal pools. This was the Blue Lagoon in Iceland, and it was so cool. Like, if you ever get out there to Iceland, they're very big on thermal energy, and their pools are so nice. Like, you feel so rejuvenated, your skin feels so good. Like, I wish I can go to one of those every day. Like, I would move to Iceland just to do that. We went in the winter time, so it was pretty cold, but I would love to go there during the summer and see it all green, because it was all white and snowy when me and my daughter went. So, and then we went to Black Sand Beach and got a whole bag of black sand. So luckily this is a country that you can actually bring some of this stuff back with you. Like, if you go to Hawaii, you can't take anything from the islands because it will bring some bad negative energy to you and be cursed. So I definitely don't bring anything back from Hawaii or any other country unless they say that it's okay, because a lot of times the land doesn't want you to take them away from their land. So don't bring anything back unless otherwise said that it's okay. So it was okay for us to come. I know that when we came back from Iceland, I had, like, my bag probably weighed a little bit more because I had all these rocks and sands in it. That's interesting. Let's see, let's move on to this tiger here. So this tiger here is actually scratchboard, and so I scratched this. This was an assignment in one of my classes in my first year of college in graphic design, and so I actually have a blanket that has this tiger on it. So I just drew this from the blanket. There's no tracing, and it's, if you mess up on this scratch board, on any scratch board, if you mess up, it's hard to correct it. So I worked really hard. I think I did 2 of them prior that didn't come out very good, or maybe 1, and then this was the one that came out the best. But I was super proud of this. And a tiger is also another spirit animal that I have that guides me, and so every time I look at this, I just know that I am protected by my tiger and that he's always here with me. And I was really super proud of this piece, and so I'm really glad I get to share that with you guys. Then I have all my crystals here. So all my crystals that I use to align with my chakras, to remove energies, to bring positivity to my life. This one right here is for the heart chakra. So if you hold it in your hand, you can feel your heart chakra energy vibrating as you're holding this. Like, your whole body, like, just vibrates with love. Like, in your heart, you can just feel it. And so if you're into crystals, I'm not super knowledgeable about crystals. That's something that I want to learn. So if you're someone who puts on crystal workshops and you teach people about crystals and the energies and the meanings, I would love to take your class. So comment or get in touch with me if you are someone who does that, because I really want to learn more about them, because I know that they have such amazing magical healing powers, and they come from the earth, and Gaia has provided these to us to use to stay in alignment with ourselves, to stay in alignment with her, and to heal ourselves. So if you know more about chakras, I mean crystals and stones, I would love to learn more. So I'm always willing to learn different things. So please get in touch, because I would love to attend your workshop, or maybe we collaborate together and do a workshop together or something. So these are my little crystals that I use. You can use these to align with your chakras. They're all stones that coincide with your chakras. So this is my little crystals. I'm sure as I get more into the metaphysical world and holistic healing and natural healing, I'm gonna get a lot more crystals and rocks, if you haven't noticed that I love rocks. So that's my little crystal thing here. If you're tuned into my self-care 50-week self-care truth or dare, this is the canister that we pick from. And so every week we come here and pick a new stick and see what the truth and dare is for self-care for you to work on within the week or that day, or however you want to work on that. But it's just giving you the opportunity to get more in touch with yourself, more in touch of getting yourself more self-care and more self-love, and just bringing more awareness to your life that maybe you didn't have before, to where you can actually start making those changes that you want, that you desire to make changes for. So this is where I get my canister, my truth or dare topics for the videos. And this is a funny little thing here. I don't even remember where I got this from. I think somebody was giving it away in like an office I was working in, or someone who I did organizing for. I don't know. I bring stuff home and sometimes I don't remember where I got it. But I just thought that this was so cool that somebody made this, you know, out of all this wire and screw. And I just thought it was such a cool illustration of what it looks like to be human, right? Isn't that what it's about? Reproduction, huh? The man chasing the girl. Yeah, pretty comical. So I always thought this was cool. I should make up like some cool story about it or something, but for now it's just something I got from somebody and I thought was really cool. All right, now let's move on to the middle section here. I got so much stuff, so I really hope that you're still here watching, or you're curious or interested into seeing what I have here on Quinn's Lane. Thank you for watching and taking the time to watch this. This is just giving you a little insight into me and my world and what I'm into and what I like. And so, you know, thank you for watching. I hope you're still here, and if you're not, that's okay. But yeah, just giving you a little bit of Quinn here. All right, so this thing here was actually a project that I did in the college when I transferred back up here to Denver. Not back up here, but when I transferred to Denver. This was a 2D class. I went to the College of Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, which just right down the street from where I live right now. So it's interesting how I've made a full circle back to this area since I moved here in 2003. And so this was a project where we had to create movement in an illustration. Like it had to be used with different medias. And so I have colored pencils here, markers, that's pretty much it. And of course there's my flames. So I was really into flames and I was really super proud of this one. I worked on it a lot. I have a whole portfolio of all these projects that I did, but this was one that I wanted to bring out. Plus with the colors, it's so vibrant, and I just love looking at it and getting lost in it, because I really do feel like I'm falling in the middle of this if you look at it. So this is something that I really enjoy looking at. This little love potion here I got at the Renaissance Festival one year back when I was in high school. So a lot of these things are things from high school, from growing up, that I still have, that I can't get rid of because they do mean a lot to me. And then inside I have all these foreign coins. I think some of them are from Iceland. Oh look, here's a cool one with dolphins. We got a lot of dolphin energy going on today. I just did a little dolphin meditation earlier, so I thought this was really cool that I had this. So I'm not really sure where these are from, but I just discovered them in this little potion bottle. This is actually like an incense bottle. You put one of the cones incense in there, and then you just let it burn out, really. And like, I'm really big into mushrooms, if you can't tell. If you can't tell that I'm really into mushrooms, I have a whole mushroom little little scene going on here. This little mushroom picture that I have up here, my grandma did for me. She does the jewel art, and she sells them too. And so I was like, can you make me a mushroom one? And so she found that one and made it for me. And I just thought that it was so cool to have that to add to my little mushroom garden that I got going on here. And then, of course, I got some candles here. I love candles. I even made candles. This one right here I actually made for my grandma. She's passed on now, but this is the crystal wax candle. And so one year I saw this at a kit of it at Walmart when I was a kid, and I wanted to make stuff for people for Christmas. So I got all these different containers and made all these little candles. So for like my grandparents, I made them bigger candles like this, and then for the other relatives, I just made them like a small little candle. But they were all different colors, and I actually did get another kit off of Amazon last year that I haven't used yet. So that's something that I want to get back into, is making those candles and giving them to people who are special to me, because I feel like I've taken some time and energy to put thought and my time into creating something for someone who I care about. And so I'm going to get some containers or some little jars of some kind to make these, because I really enjoy doing them, and I get so creative, and it's always so fun to see how things turn out when you're just being creative. You're just in the moment of creativity. So that was something that I did. I didn't burn it. Like my grandma didn't burn it either, because she was like, I feel like it was just too beautiful to be burned. And one time I had a friend go and light the candles in my house. I was like, oh, here, go light the candles. And he lit this one. And I'm like, no, you can't light that candle. Like, you can't light it. So yeah, I was just like, no lighting the candle. So it has a little bit of wax burned in it, but I don't light it. Let's see here. I got this little gnome at the Dollar Tree, because you know what? Gnomes are part of my spirit guides. And I just was meditating last night, and like 5 of them were there. They remind me of the 7 dwarfs. So I have gnomes who follow me and who are around, and I saw this one. I was like, oh my God, I had to have it. So when I get a yard one day and I settle down in a place, I'm gonna have gnomes like all over my yard. If you've ever seen that movie Romeo and Juliet, that's gonna be me with a yard full of gnomes, because they're my friends and they're my guides, and they're people who are here protecting me and guiding me and loving me and supporting me in everything that I do. And so I'm so grateful to have them with me and doing the work that they're doing for me and with me. And of course, you know, I got mushrooms. My mom had given me this one. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's like a little mushroom tree, and there was a base of some kind, but that fell off, and so she gave this to me because she knows I love mushrooms. And then this thing here, Quinn's Lane, here we are on Quinn's Lane. I can't ever find anything with my name on it. My name is so unique now, well, has been, and it's sometimes hard to find little trinkets and little memorabilia type of things with my name on it. So I got this at the Cave of the Winds in Springs. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I had to have it. And I'm not quite sure how much it was. It was probably like $5-10 or something, but I was like, oh my God, I gotta have that. So here we are in Quinn's Lane. You know, this is all the things that represent me, that is about me and what I'm into and the support that I get and what I love. So maybe you're into it like me, and we can share stories or experiences, and you share your what you love too. Like, I would love to see that. You know, even if you don't ever meet me in person, at least you can come here to the See Me See You channel and get an insight into my life and see what I'm about, what inspires me, and the things that I love and that are there working for me while I'm on this journey. So a lot of these mushrooms I've had since I was a teenager. Like this one, for instance, I've had it as a teenager. I just never had the heart to burn it. It's just too beautiful. It's too nice for me to burn, so I never burned it. And then this one, this little guy was over here on this side, but he fell off. So now he's just over here in this little garden. When I worked at a cigarette store back in Trinidad, even when I transferred up here, this little thing right here is an ashtray. So, like, why would you put cigarette ashes in that? Like, why would you put your cigarettes, your dirty, gross cigarettes out in this? It's just so pretty and beautiful to ruin with cigarettes. And so, I mean, at the time I was a smoker, but I never had the heart to do that. I mean, it even has little indentions over here where you could put your cigarette down, and I was like, nope, I can't do that to this beautiful thing. And then this is something I actually found in the ground as I was walking out on some land down in Trinidad. My dad owned some land, or I'm not really sure what land I found this, but I was hiking one day and I found it, and it has a little broken piece out of it. So I would put flowers out of the top of it when I'd get them, or some fake flowers or some wild flowers. You know, if I was out hiking and I got some like wildflowers, pick some, I use this as a little vase. And then, you know, this is a snuffer, so you just put this down and you put your cigarettes out in it. I have used it when I was smoking, but I try to clean it the best I can to make it still be pretty. And then, of course, this is that little guy. So I love mushrooms. I love eating mushrooms. I love taking mushrooms. If you've never done that before, that's quite the experience. I even drink a mushroom latte coffee. And, well, there's really not much coffee, but it's a mushroom latte. It's called Everyday Dose. And so I drink that every morning. I don't drink coffee, so that's what I drink. And it has a really great health benefits to it. And then this here is a picture that I colored. I colored this. I love coloring. Maybe before I'm done with this video, you will, maybe I'll show you the Flower of Life templates that I've been coloring. But this is something that I've colored. This was about a year in the making, and it took me about a year, just because I would do it off and on, and finally I finished it a couple months ago. And so I was just happy to bring that out. Growing up, I was really into riding horses. My stepdad's mom had a ranch, and she had horses, and so we would go there on the weekends and ride horses, and I just loved riding horses. I still do. I'm not in the country anymore, so I don't really get that opportunity much, but going and doing like an Estes Park ride on horseback in the spring or in the summer is something that I really want to do, especially taking my daughter and doing that, because she likes horses as well. So I'm hoping that I can get that experience in, just to bring back those memories and times that I had riding horses. It was so much fun. And there was a few times where two horses had taken off with me on the back, and I'm like freaking out, crying, you know, thinking I'm gonna get bucked off. But I just pulled up on their reins and the horse stopped. I practically almost went flying over him. But it was fun. It was like I had the control, and the horse's power is a lot, and so I feel like I was a little bit afraid of the power, but once I connected with the horse, we were able to have much better experiences after that. So never got bucked off, and they never took off on me again, so that was really great. Let's see, we're gonna move over to this side here. Well, this is a candle, a mushroom candle that melted in the sun, or melted somehow, and so it's kind of just a little deformed. It's burned there. I have no idea how that's happened, but this was one that glows in the dark, and so growing up I had a black light, so some of the things that I don't have out, they glow in the dark because I love black light, and so I love everything glowing, and this was something that I really loved having to see when I had my black light on. And then I got me a little turtle candle. I mean, how could you burn this? Like, how could you burn this little guy? Like, I would hate to, like, put a hole in this guy's shell. So, never burned it from high school, maybe earlier, junior high. I'm not really sure where I got these. I think we would have Santa Fe Trail Days in Trinidad. And it was like a 3-day vendor festival where they would have it in downtown, and there's games and music and food and vendors, and just one of those little vendor fairs that go on during the summer. So if you ever get down to Trinidad, I'm pretty sure they still have the Santa Fe Trail Days. Just because that's something that brings revenue in and tourists and stuff. So go check it out if you're ever down in that area. Let's see here. This is one of my little geo rocks. It was very purple through here, and it was sitting in the window, and I think the sun bleached it. I'm not sure. So when I took it out of the window, this is what it looked like. So I was like, well, okay, I don't know if it's ever going to get back, but it's one that you would get at, I think we had got it at the Cave of the Winds in Springs as well. And then here's my little thing, my little Q. You don't ever find Q's. I mean, for having a Q name, it's really hard to find anything with your letter. Like, go into the store, when they have the mugs, or they have the keychains, or they have letters just of some kind on something, you don't ever see Q's. So anytime I see a Q, I always get it, because I'm like, well, I might not ever see it again. So this was something that my grandma bought. It's like really hard. I can see you like hitting somebody with this, but it's really heavy. It's like made of steel or something, but my grandma gave it to me, and I always think of her when I look at it. And then I don't know if you've seen on my Facebook page, this is actually a puzzle that I put together. This is the picture that comes with it. But I have, like I said, I have a spirit guide of wolf. So this is like a really good representation of what my spirit guide looks. So it was no coincidence that this was something that has come to me. Just since Christmas. Actually, I got this as a Christmas present from my mom, and so I really, really love looking at this. It gives me inspiration and just lets me know that I'm always protected and taken care of. So I'm so happy to have this. This Celebrate thing is actually a picture holder, so you could put pictures on here, and this was something that my stepsister had given me as, I believe it was a graduation present when I graduated high school. And so we weren't ever really close growing up because she lived in another town. But the times that I did spend with her were really great. And so every time I look at this, I always think of her. And I just need to put some pictures. I had some in there, but they were really old from a long time ago. And so it's like I need to print some more. I mean, now with all this digital stuff, we hardly ever print pictures, right? Like, who prints pictures anymore? I mean, I'd go to Walgreens and get some pictures printed, but a lot of times I don't have any pictures printed. And I used to take a lot of pictures growing up. I have a whole box of pictures that I had taken. Plus, when I was in school, I did a few photography classes, and so I've done a lot of darkroom stuff. I have a lot of those pictures, but they're all in storage because I don't have the space for them now. But once I get the bigger space, I'll definitely be getting those pictures out and framing them and having them around me, because these are things that inspire me. These are things that are part of me, and I'm feeling emotional right now because it's like I just love these things so much, and they're really a part of me. Like, they're who I am, and it shows kind of where I've been on my journey, or the things that I've liked and disliked, or what's inspired me to do better or something. So I'm just really happy I get to share this with you. If you don't ever come to my house, or you don't ever visit me in person or anything, at least this will give you some insight into my world. And then this is a little Trinidad Catholic Tigers. This was the high school that I went to. I believe this was my grandma's. I don't think there's a year on here, but she went there too, or maybe it was one of my aunts or uncles, like my mom's siblings, because they two of them had went there. My mom and my uncle, one of my uncles had went there, and so they would give these big old mugs, because I think a lot of them would just put beer in them, and these would be like their beer mugs. And so when my grandma had passed, we were cleaning out our cabinets, and I found this, and my aunt has taken over her house, but I was like, can I have that? Because I went to Trinidad Catholic, and so that school isn't there anymore. The building's there, but the school, Trinidad Catholic, is a whole different name and everything. But I was like, could I have that? And so then it has a Coca-Cola hacky sack that I'm not even sure where I got from. And then a flashlight. Oh, and it says, go to the edge of the light you see. And this was actually the flashlight that I got at my certification program to become a dream builder coach. And so when we did it, we were just standing there with our lights up, and it was dark, and all these people had who were getting certified had the flashlight, and we're holding it, and it was like, follow your light, follow your light. So maybe I shouldn't have this inside of here. Maybe it should come out, don't you think? I'll put it right here. And then look at this little guy. He comes from Cars. I don't know really where I got this, but I mean, I'm like a hippie. So if you haven't noticed, I'm very hippie-ish. I don't wear patchouli though. I'm not that hippie. That's what I think about hippies, is patchouli. But I'm really all about peace, love, and happiness. Sharing the love, sharing your world, and just living in peace, living in the present moment, living in love, like living in love. And so this really represents me. And so I love having this little guy here. And if you ever watch Cars, you know he's probably like the coolest one in that show. All right, I know that we are getting, we're almost to like an hour, so if you're still here, thank you for being here. I know this is probably a lot, but it's like, what else do you got going on? Are you scrolling through Facebook, or, you know, are you on some social media channel scrolling? Like, maybe this isn't of interest to you. That's okay, that's fine, but hey, I just want to give you a look into my life and into my world, and hope that you are enjoying this video. I do want to point out this tree here, or this plant here. A dear friend of mine had given this to me. It was a lot bigger and a lot more fuller when I got it, okay? She was going out traveling in her camper, and so she had to get rid of some stuff, and she entrusted me with her money tree plant. And I mean, this plant's like 6 foot tall. I've cut it. I tried to propagate it, or like reproduce it into some smaller pots, because the place that I'm living in now, the ceiling is so low, it was just kind of drooping, and I just felt like it was gonna break. So I was like, well, let me just try and replant it, or at least I think it's propagating is the word for it. But so I cut this like months ago, and it died. Like, I feel like the plant died. All the other things that I tried doing died. And I take really good care of plants. I have 2 plants that have been with me for a long time, but this is the one that I was like really, really concerned about when it wasn't looking so well, when it was it wasn't overgrown, but anyway, I cut it all down, I cut it off, and then I stopped watering it, and nothing happened. And then I went down to visit my family in Trinidad, and there was nothing on this. There was nothing. There was no sprouts of any kind. And when I came back, like, this is probably about 2 weeks worth of growth right here, but when I came back, there was sprouts in there, and I was like, oh my God, I was so happy and grateful to see that life was coming back into this plant. I was like, yes, something's happening, something's changing. Like, if this plant is starting to grow again and produce leaves, and I was so happy. I cried because I was like, I didn't know I was gonna throw this plant away, and I'm glad that I didn't, because it is growing and it's flourishing and it looks so beautiful. Like, I am just so happy that this is there. And the one next to it is actually one that I had bought from Lowe's, and it was nice and fluffy and had a few stalks, but they were all dying and they were not doing so well. So I was hoping that maybe if I put it by this plant, it will, you know, get some of that energy to start growing, which does have a little bit coming, but nothing, no leaves have come yet. So I'm really hoping that some leaves come. And that, I mean, for me, the money tree is like my money luck or my money charm, you know? So it's like, if this plant is coming alive and flourishing, that means that my money and my wealth and my prosperity is coming. Not that I'm not that already, because I already am rich. I am already abundant. I am already prosperous. I am already wealthy. And so to see this plant growing, it just makes me so happy inside, and just makes me, I look at it every day and I touch it and I'm like, thank you so much for growing. I'm so happy. I'm going to water you now. I'm going to continue watering you now. So, so that was a really awesome thing to come back to when I came back from my family, to see my family. So I was really super excited to see that. All right, we're gonna go down to the next two. There's only 2 more shelves left. I know you're like, oh my God, is she gonna ever stop talking? No, I will keep talking. So you either leave the channel, leave the video, or you stay here with me. I would love to have you here. So thank you for staying with me this long. I'm happy to share a little bit about my world and how maybe you could connect with me. You know, if this is something that, if there's anything here that I have that you're interested in and want to learn more about, or, you know, something sparked you or you have similar interests, you know, let me know. I'd love to hear that. I'm looking for soul family people. So if you're someone who resonates with my videos and things that I talk about, you know, let's connect. I am in the hiring of soul family. All right, so let's go ahead and move on over here. I have this right here is like a photo album of pictures of me that one of my grandparents had put together when I graduated high school. So it has pictures of me from when I was a baby. Yes, I'll show you one. I'll show you how cute I was, right? Let's see. Oh, let's see. Look at those. That was at like a christening baptism. You know, look how cute I was. Wasn't I just the cutest little baby? I think so anyway. If you don't, that's okay. I do. I'm really into Greek mythology. I haven't necessarily read this book, but I got it from a client. She was getting rid of it, so I was like, well, I'll keep it because I'm into Greek mythology. But I haven't read it yet. So it's classic stories of gods, goddesses, heroes, and monsters. So eventually I'll read this. And then I have my chakra incense. For Christmas, I gave everyone one of these with a little incense burner, which I have here. I was just burning some sacral, which is lang lang, some sacral scent, which is lang lang that connects with your chakras. I love the slinky. I've had this slinky for like a really long time. I'd love to do what Jim Carrey did in When Nature Calls, the Ace Ventura Nature Calls, where he went down all those steps with the slinky, and then he gets to the bottom and it doesn't go, and he's like, no! And then this was something that I had got at the Dollar Tree. It says, let the adventure begin. And the candle smells really good. Actually, I've put in different candles in it. I cut all the other one out and then just reuse these jars. So this could be a good jar to use in one of those candle making projects I want to do. And then, you know, I got some books here. I don't know if you can see them, but they're pretty much organizing self-healing. If you've ever read Jen Sereno's You Are a Badass at Making Money, or you're just a badass in general. Look, I got Creating Money. One day my soul just opened up. The Untethered Soul. If you've ever read that book, they have a workbook. I've read that book several times and it's changed my perspective. Here's the journal, Love Yourself from Louise Hayes. The You Can Heal Your Life. Like, I've read these books and that is really what has put me on my journey of personal development. And those are some of the other books that I've read that I've held on to, which I'm going to be giving those away to a friend who lives in a place where they have a bookshelf of books. And then down here, I have a lot of Soulmate, Living with Joy, The Littlest Bigfoot, How to Become a Professional Organizer. That's how I became a professional organizer. I read that book, did the things that it said in the book, and became a professional organizer. Let's see. Ways to say I love you. A lot of people don't know how to say I love you, or they weren't taught that growing up. I know we in my family didn't say we loved each other very often, so I got this book and that taught me a lot of stuff. Relating, Save Money, When God Winks, some Christmas books that I have. Janet Ivanovich, I was really into her when I worked at an office job. It was really slow, so I read a book like a day practically. And Janet Ivanovich's Stephanie Plum book series was always great to read, and they're so funny too. This was a card. This was a card that someone gave me. He actually drew all this stuff. It was a Valentine's Day card, and he drew all of that stuff too. And so I just loved his card and just had to put it out here. And then another friend of mine had given me this for attending dinner that she had. And I love rainbows, and I just love looking at this, knowing that good things are ahead. Good things are happening right now, and they're ahead. So it's these type of positive things that I like to surround myself with to be in alignment with who I am, and really bring out the things that I love, So I'm really happy to share this all with you guys. And then this is a little geo rock, and look at it. It looks like a heart. Like, doesn't that look so cool? And like, I've always wanted to maybe put like some red in there, or like it would light up, or something would glow in there. But this is like one of those geode rocks that have the crystals inside. My cousin actually gave this to me. He has like so many of them in his yard, and I was like, oh my god, that one looks like a heart. And he's like, do you want it? And I was like, yes, I would love that. So I got this from him. And then I got another one too. I got this one because it just looks so cool and it's so shiny. And I mean, can you believe that rocks do this? Like, there's rocks with crystals in them, and I just love crystals. And so I love having these rocks around, plus the energy that they bring and give to you. So it's really great to have these type of things around you. All right, that's that side. Those are just some candles over there that I've had for quite a long time. This frame somebody had given me. I don't even know who gave it to me, but it says the best things in life are people we love, the places we've been, and the memories we've made along the way. Isn't that so true, though? And this is just a reminder to me of what's really important in life, and what really is what really brings happiness, and what really life is really about. It's about the people we love. It's the places we've been, and the memories we made along the way. And that's really the journey of life, right? If you can agree with that. I definitely can. So we're going to move over here to the last part. These are my little saging sticks. This is a friend of mine actually made this one for me. She went and picked it down in Colorado Springs. It didn't really burn that well, but it still kind of smells like sage. So I got a little sage stick, and she made this. So she gave this to me as a gift. So that was really awesome. And then this is one that I smudge my house with and smudge myself with. So whenever I'm doing any kind of cleansing or cleansing my house, cleansing myself, I will use the sage here. And then this little thing, this guy here was another project in college. We had to create a logo or a design using the elements, the earth elements. And so this is fire and ice, so icicles and fire. So of course at that time I was really into fire, and so this was a project that I did. It was called Fire and Ice. I don't know, I don't remember if it was for a product or what it was, but this one I worked really hard on, and I was really super proud of it, and I just had to bring it out and showcase it on my Quinn LN here, my Quinn LN shelf, because like I wasn't feeling very creative a while back, and I figured, well, if I put some of my stuff out that I've created that that is art that can inspire me to be creative now, which a lot of that creativity comes from your sacral chakra. So if you're blocked in that area, that's when you can feel like you're not being creative. And so I did a lot of chakra work on my sacral, and I was like, well, you know what? This will also be an inspiration for me to really be creative. And ever since I've put these things out, and I get to look at them every day, it just gives me more inspiration to create the things that I want to bring to life and that I hold within me that is wanting to come out and be in the world and be informed. So I was really happy to discover this. I've done many other projects, but I don't have enough space on here to do that. So, and then this here is another photo album of me. So two of my grandmas had made me these photo albums when I graduated high school. So that was from my father's mom, and then this was from my mom's mom. And do you want to see it? Oh, look how cute that is. Look how cute. And why so cute right there. Oh my gosh. Oh, and you know what? I love the Johnny Jump Up. OMG, you can leave me in that all day long. I never wanted to leave that thing. That's probably why I have such big legs, muscular legs, is because I was in the Johnny Jump Up all the time, and I just loved being in that thing. So, isn't that cute? I always thought I looked like a boy, which sometimes I still do, but I'm all female, okay? I'm all female. And then I grew up with, I loved watching Snoopy. So, and I loved reading the comics. So I got this from a client. They were getting rid of it. And then I don't know about you, but I loved zoo books. And I don't even know if they do these anymore, if they send them out anymore. But these were ones that I had from when I was a kid, and I just absolutely love them. This one was my favorite. It was the dolphin one. I should have that one on top. So I can have my dolphin energy come through. Oh, I just love that so much. I'm gonna have to send this to my mentor and say, look, I got some dolphin stuff too. I actually have a stuffed dolphin that I got from SeaWorld. He's in storage right now, and I feel kind of bad because he's sitting in storage in a bin, you know, all lonely and cold. And so I can't wait to move into a bigger space to where I can have all my stuff in one space and I can have it all displayed and everything. So yay for dolphin energy. Well, I would say that that is pretty much on my Quinn LN here. Thank you so much for joining and staying this long. It's about an hour time. I just wanted to share with you a little bit about my world and show you some things that that inspire me and that interest me, and really that have put me on a path that I'm on now. If I hadn't had these things surrounding me and inspiring me, I don't really know what I would do. But these are things that I hold near and dear. They represent something about me and about my life, and you know, life's all about the journey, and these things have been with me my whole entire journey, and they're not going anywhere. So I'm just so happy and grateful that you tuned in for a trip down Quinn's Lane. Hopefully you got to know me a little bit more and have a little bit more of insight of kind of what I'm about and what I want to bring out. So thank you again for joining, and I hope that you have an amazing day, and I can't wait to share some more with you about my world and how I live and be and do, and all the experiences that I get to experience and enjoy on a daily basis, because I live in such an abundant world. I'm so blessed and loved, and I just want to say I love you. Thank you for being here, and you have so much to share and to give to the world, and I would be so happy and grateful to help you do that if you need someone there to support you. So get in touch, like or subscribe, continue watching, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.